All right. Hi, what's your name? Dawood. Stephen. That's it. Yeah. What I would like to know is how you got to your beliefs as a Muslim. And
let's carry on the discussion as we was discussing before. You know?
All right. You said you've been.
That's one reason. I don't mind just filming, but one thing I don't like about films is sometimes it becomes a bit unnatural, and that's the reason why. The only reason why. So have a natural discussion.
You were saying that you've been a Muslim for 4 years. Your parents are not Muslim, so I was asking you, how do you feel about your parents going to hell and being tortured in hell, and you're going to worship the God that's punishing and torturing your children, your parents, who loved you and unconditionally for your life? You know?
Yeah, so number one, it doesn't take away the love that I have for my parents. And with my parents, because we have this the ability to choose what to believe and what not to believe. If they can see the difference that's made in my life, and I've come and I've given them the message, and it's making sense to them, but for whatever reasons they say, you know what, that's your belief, I'm going to stick to mine, and that's their choice. They have that right. No one can take that away from them. But they also have the option to embrace Islam and to be safe from that. If they don't want to believe it exists, based upon conjecture or whatever else, then that's their opinion. I have to respect that. I have to respect my parents' opinion, So it's their decisions. All of our decisions in this life have consequences. You understand this, yeah? Good or bad. So their decision to not accept this message could lead to a bad consequence. It's a hard fact for me to deal with. Hopefully, inshallah, before that they do embrace Islam, and myself first and foremost, I hope that that I remain steadfast and die upon Islam.
Can I ask you a question? Can you see how people might see that and be kind of like frightened of religion, because the person that you're supposed to love the most, your parents, yeah? You're prepared to, love God, who is your God.
First and foremost, we love Allah Almighty, who give us our parents. Yeah. We give them their parents and give them all sustenance and everything. First and foremost, our love should be directed to that being.
Yeah, that's your personal God. My mother is a Catholic, okay? Now, according to your belief, my mum is going to be burning in hell.
According to her belief, I'm going to be burning in hell.
Exactly, yeah. So, now, I can't really respect someone like you saying your God is going to be torturing my mother, because I love my mother, and she's entitled to her belief. So I'm saying there's a concept called honourable disagreement. You can agree philosophically or intellectually about what you believe in, yeah? But I have the same respect for you and your parents and my mother as I have for myself. And it's difficult for me to respect a God that's going to torture my mother, or even torture your mother.
If you don't believe it shouldn't upset you, because you don't believe that your mum's not going to go to hell. Do you understand?
It upsets me that you can think this of your parents and worship a God that's going to torture your parents.
Are you a Catholic?
I was a Catholic, but no.
Is your father a Catholic?
He was, yeah.
There might be members of your family who might have a different belief.
Yeah.
Your mum believes that they're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Perhaps your mum believes that my mum's going to go to hell, and I'm going to go. I don't find this upsetting. That's her belief. She's entitled to it. Because I don't believe it to be true. So unless you believe what I'm saying to be true, it shouldn't upset anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that in my belief, yes, we believe if you don't accept Islam, yeah, and like I said, I have not got the whole say. I'm not going to say who's in and who's out. It's not my job. But Allah tells us in the Quran that on the day of judgment, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, the only way of life that will be accepted in the sight of Allah is Islam. So that's the message that I try to give to people.
Can I ask you a question then?
Go ahead.
It's your belief. How convinced are you that the belief is true? On a scale from 0 to 100%. 100% being 100% convinced it's true, whereas you're going down the scale grade to 0% where you're not convinced it's true at all.
Consider 100% to be how sure you are that you exist. Are you as sure about your God existing as you are that you exist?
I would say I'm as sure that Islam is the truth, as sure as I am that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's how sure I am.
So you say you're 100%?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Is that an emotional An emotional decision or intellectual calculation?
To begin with, I wasn't a Muslim. Obviously.
Yeah.
I've grown up from a white background with, around people, a lot of people who have anti-Islamic views and whatever. So for me to embrace something, I had to remove the sort of bias from my mind and really look at things from a holistic type of view. Not just listen
about it.
Yeah, not just listen to what the enemies of Islam are saying. Because if I do that, it's like if I go to your enemy. So what's his name again?
Stephen.
If I was to go to your enemy, Stephen, and ask them about you, I'm sure they're not going to give me a true account of how you really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to. Okay, I'm not saying.
So did you go to the atheists and ask them about Islam?
What I would do is I would go to Muslim sources and I would go to academic sources who are not Muslims who have said very good things about Islam also because they are unbiased.
Yeah, but surely maybe the enemies are the only people who are being honest. Maybe you're more likely to get a more truthful version from the enemy,
So
from the criticizers.
If I go to your enemy, they're going to tell me everything true. Is that the case?
They may well do. I could be. If I'm a horrible person, then my enemies are more likely to speak the truth about me than my friends.
Generally not. I mean,
Let me ask you something, yeah?
generally
This
not.
guy,
I mean, the enemies are going to give. They're going to slide.
We can't know. We can't know for sure.
I mean, look around you, yeah?
I do know because what I've been taught growing up, now actually embracing Islam, being a Muslim, being around practicing Muslims, I've seen a lot of these things that I've been taught to believe and these ideas that I've had in my head that have developed in my mind through these negative sources, I find them to be completely untrue. I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt. So there was no doubt, I do know that they were slandering.
Okay, but then from my point of view, I grew up in a Muslim community, family, and country even. I grew up born in one. So I saw from the inside what I consider to be the truth about Islam.
Okay, based upon the Muslims of that country or based upon what the Quran
Based upon every single Muslim I've ever met, everything I've ever learned about Islam.
I'm a Muslim. You've met me. What is wrong with what turns you? What is it about me that turns you away from Islam?
I don't think that you know for sure that it is true, but you claim to know for sure it's true.
it's the certainty, you know?
You're being intellectually dishonest.
You just said, hold on a second. You just said you don't think. I know, yeah? So you don't think.
Yeah, but you can't claim that you think you know.
We're not interested about what you think.
So we're not interested about what you think, because you can only say you think you know for sure.
I don't want you to turn this into a sort of shout. What is it from the Quran? Because
But we didn't. That
where
was
is
what you
it
asked me.
from Islam or the Quran? Because I was speaking to this gentleman, you come over and you interrupted after this. What is it about Islam? From the Quran, from the text, from the scripture that you find that's turned you away from Islam? Because if Muslims brought me to Islam, if it was just the Muslims, I would have probably left a long time ago. I'm with you there, yeah? I'm with you, okay? But the mistake that we make time and time again is that we judge the followers of a religion rather than a religion, but we're judging.
The book is worse in a lot of ways.
Can you substantiate that?
What I'll say to you is this. There's no point talking about the specifics of Islam and Quran as if it's anything special. It is not.
This is opinion. It's
No.
emotional opinion.
Bro, you talk for a while. I'll let you talk. I'm going to answer your question. You said to me what turned me away from it. I don't really care about what you think that I need to express some specific thing of bollocks, mate. All religions were invented by human beings at a time when they could not understand how the natural world works. They didn't understand death, they didn't understand disease, they didn't understand nature, they didn't understand the weather. So they made up magical stories and put a magical invisible human being behind the scenes. All religions done that through history. Now, if the Quran was something more special than any of the other religions, it would be bloody obvious because it would have some great information, some great moral truths. It doesn't. It is the same as all the other books, obviously made up by a man.
Okay, so what we just had there is a
Emotional
rant of
tirade.
your emotional, an emotional
Am I right or am I
That's
wrong?
exactly what you've done.
I tend to agree with him.
Well, yes, because you're a non-Muslim.
But I respect your opinion. I respect your right to your opinion.
Emotional tirade. Now, what I asked for there was show me something where the Quran is where you find this wrong, where you find this is where it's not the truth or something like that. He couldn't give me.
Well, let's say the beginning. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, yeah, and He separated them, yeah. So we know. What did it say in the beginning? God created. What did it say in the beginning?
No, you told me.
I was brought up as a Catholic, so I know the Christians.
I think I'm going to the Bible.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you, what do you
I don't believe in the Bible.
It was written in a human language about a human locality and talking about human-made up stuff. That proves to me it was written by a man.
If it was written in an alien language, then we wouldn't understand it. So yes, it was revealed in a human language.
Why Arabic?
It's one of the most
Exactly.
It's one of the most beautiful.
If it was written in mathematics, or it was written in some sort of universally accessible
Arabic
language.
is a mathematical language. Did you know this?
It's written in a language I can't even understand.
So is
Majority of the world can't understand.
Hebrew, Aramaic, English as well. They're mathematical languages.
Okay.
There's a thing, if you go back to Greek, they have a thing called gematria, geometric. They give numbers and values to words and so on. English is a mathematical language. So is Arabic is a mathematical language. So anyway, he's just giving. Let's go back to what me and you was discussing because he's just quite really interrupted and come with his own emotional opinions. And,
I was talking about you. I was talking about you guys.
if you're not going to talk sense, don't talk. Right, go ahead.
So you're 100% convinced that Islam is the truth, yeah? Doesn't that breed division amongst other people who you may think are not following the right path or giving the right respect and worship to God, who you 100% believe created the world and created everything that lives in it?
I don't